Hello, my name is Brennan Williams, and I'll be talking about my final project for Excel. All relevant information is here. And the project that I decided to do um, is about interest rates and the kind of house that my wife and I can afford as we're looking for a house as I graduate soon. The first concept that I decided to implement was financial formulas, and in particular, the one-way and the two-way tables. As we can see here, as we go across the columns, it has varying interest rates, and on the rows, this has varying amounts of different mortgages that we could take out, and where they meet is how much the interest would be paying per month. And I really like this, and this was cool, but I wanted it to be a bit more dynamic to current interest rates. I didn't want to have to update this every single day. And so part of the second thing that I did for this project was connecting to an external source. And the external source that I connected to was an API provided by the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, and they actually have a ton of different APIs available that you can use. And I was able to get an API key, and the one that I'm most interested in is the 30-year fixed mortgage average of the United States. And so using this API and the API key that I got when I signed up, please don't use that API key. I don't know if there would be any consequences, but so what I decided to do was using the Excel, under data and under from web, I was able to call this API using the add external data, and using this API provided by the St. Louis Federal Reserve, and specified my API key and the specific category that I want. I was able to get all interest rates for forever, but I really only cared about the ones that were recent. So I was able to drill down, as you can see through here. This is all the interest rates for since 1970, I believe, but I only care about the most recent one, which is today, December 4th of 2023. And I was able to drill down and get the value that I care about, which is the 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And from there, you can see that's being imported in here. And then using that, it brings me to my third point, which is conditional formatting. And again, I combined the using an external data and using financial formulas we learned in this class to build out this dynamic data table and two-way table that does a couple things. First off, it brings in this percentage right here. And then from there, it dynamically builds interest rates using this percentage. So every 0.025%, it dynamically builds this. So if I were to manually change this to, say, 5%, it would update these all dynamically. But since I don't want that, I want to update it every single day. And I have this set up right now so that it'll run every 60 minutes or whenever I open the file. Oops, so let me get out of that. And the part that for the concept number 3 that I implemented was I did conditional formatting. And as you can see here, we have blue, green, and red. And we have a base, what is in our budget. And using conditional formatting, I can say anything within this budget of plus or minus $150, highlight blue with the yellow background. And anything that is cheaper than that, get increasingly more green. Anything that is out of budget, get increasingly more red. So as we can see here, if I were to pick today's interest rate, I could likely afford something on the scale of $420,000 to $450,000. And these are static over here. These are not dynamic, but these up here are dynamic based on the interest rate that is called from this API every single time I open this file or every 60 minutes. And as we can see here, if I update it, it would say we have a life event or I get a raise. And as I update this, it would say my budget is now $3,500. We'll update everything accordingly. And we can see now that we can afford a nicer house. So as my budget goes up, we can afford nicer houses, and we don't want to be buying anything that is below our means, but we obviously don't want to be buying anything that is above our means. And so those are the 3 concepts I implemented from this Excel class: financial formulas, connecting to an external source or an external API, and then conditional formatting. So thank you so much.